Hello and good afternoon, Xbox Nation. Welcome to this week's new episode of X Vlog Live. I am your host, or at least one of them, Mr. BoomStick XL. I am awaiting my brother from another, C Money, to join me. Folks, we have three really fun topics to get into. Now, one, of course, is not as fun as you would like because we are talking some numbers that came in for Q2 for Xbox, and quite frankly, they're not great. Like, they're not even good, ladies and gentlemen. But does that mean Xbox is dead again? The answer is no. I have some thoughts. I have some theories. And I do believe they can turn it around. And the way they're going to do that is exactly how they're moving. But we'll get into that. We do have a very interesting topic that comes the way of Stein from Xbox, where he's specifically asking Geoff Keighley a pretty big question. And I did not notice this, and I would not have noticed it if Stein wouldn't have posted this on the socials. And we have others like Miles Dompierre, a good friend of this freaking show and this amazing community. And he even asked some questions. So we're going to get into it. We're going to have some fun. But my brother from another, C Money, how the heck are you, sir?
Good, man. How you doing, bro?
Sorry, I'm doing good. Let me tell you something. I was looking at my stats for the month of January, and my goal for achievements was 100K in 26. Well, nice. So far, I have 28,395 this month.
Wow. Look at that. 1 month, bro. You better up your goal.
I know. You know what? I always like undercutting it. So when I get there, even if it's before, I've never had this many achievements. By the way, your PC is doing the buzzing thing. So it just popped on. So.
No, that's good. Thank you for letting me know.
So listen, man, how are you feeling? How the kids? Because last week when we hung out, what I did not realize, C Money, is that I had COVID. And I was sick the entire week last week. And
really?
Yeah, dude. I did not know. Actually, Mrs. Boom got sick last week, and we didn't think nothing of it. And then Tuesday I started feeling not so great. So we both had it, didn't realize it, and now thankfully we're a bit better.
Oh, good, man. Well, I'm glad to hear you're doing better. Yeah, I mean, listen, everybody's been sick basically since Thanksgiving. It's just been
too. Yep.
A ring around the rosy of everybody getting sick and people getting sick, stop being sick, but get back sick because other sickness brought them. It's just been crazy. I got really, really sick right after Thanksgiving. I was like out for 2 weeks, like done. Man. And then after that, I've been pretty chill, but everybody else, Doodle, everybody been taken down pretty much nonstop since Thanksgiving. So yeah, it's not a fun time for everybody, but I mean, we're getting there. Everybody's, just kind of doing what we got to do, man. Life moves
listen,
on,
you know what I always say, and again, I say this all the time. I know it's an old man thing to say, but for me personally, folks, it's not for you. It's for me. If I get up in the morning unassisted, the rest of the day is a bonus.
There you go.
Again, it's a cheap way, an old man way of thinking, but at least I got up, so I'll take the W. C Money, look.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
We got to open up with a topic that is maybe considered some hashtag TTS. It's a question that I don't bring up personally. It's a question that Stein from Xbox brought up himself. So you might be asking yourself, who is this Stein character? Well, Stein is the senior social media manager for Xbox, and he has a really nice orange beard. He looks like when he dresses, and we've seen him cosplay, even like out of like Lord of the Rings and stuff. I had a chance to meet him last year, gentleman of a man for sure. He specifically asked a question that, again, folks, I personally would have not even considered. And it surrounds Geoff Keighley of the Game Awards fame. Now, the one thing that I think that we all know about Geoff Keighley is, besides him being a PlayStation guy, and again, of course, there's nothing wrong with that. He likes PlayStation, fine, right? Whatever. But almost every time there is a showcase, big, small, or otherwise, Geoff does his infamous, if you will, polls like, A, B, C, D, or give me your choice. And last week, you and I have not had a chance to kind of catch up on that unbelievable Xbox Developer Direct. Now, granted, there's some of us, including me. I'm not going to sit there and lie to you and say that I wasn't a bit disappointed that there wasn't a shadow drop. And I think that there was a missed money opportunity, which is something we're going to get into in the back end of the show about some of the numbers that have come in. If they would have, let's say, released the Fallout 3 remake like we all predicted, and it was on PlayStation and switched to an Xbox and PC, considering that we are now, next week is the finale, if you will, of Fallout Season 2, they would have been making money hand over fist because people would have been racing out to buy this new HD remaster or whatever. And that didn't happen. But let's kind of just bring this back to the question that Stein asks. So Geoff Keighley puts out a tweet that says opening X this morning, and it's the character from Tangled from the Disney film with all the swords facing him. He doesn't specifically say why people are coming for Geoff Keighley, but Stein directly, he asks him a question that I don't think we got an answer for, ladies and gentlemen. And it is, obviously, that goose game where you chase everyone around and you bite them, right? Well, the crazy goose game that was in Game Pass, by the way.
Yep.
He asks, where's the developer direct poll? And it has a second character panel where it says, where is it? And apparently it's Geoff Keighley running away with the goose chasing him. So, you know what?
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
I gotta ask the question, folks. Where was the poll? Now, this is not the biggest topic of the show, and hell, I may not be making a video out of this, but it is a really good question because whenever PlayStation does something, we get a poll. When Nintendo does something, we get a poll. Usually, you get a poll for Xbox, but you didn't get one for the Developer Direct. That's pretty odd stuff, at least in my opinion. And I listen. You know what? Where this takes some context is simply let's read some of the responses. Now, folks, there are some in there. I'm gonna be honest that I'm not gonna read because they are a little bit rated R, let's just say, and we don't do that here. But Miles Dompierre, who I absolutely adore that man, outside of the fact that he does not like Code Veronica, and that's where me and him have beef. It's fine, but I love Miles nonetheless.
Working on Halloween.
Yes.
Dope ass game coming out. Very
yes, absolutely. I cannot wait for that. He says, say it ain't so, Geoff. And there is no poll. Now, we have here someone saying, again, no names. I mentioned Miles because we're good friends, but this next poster says he knew it was an excellent developable direct. Well, there's that. And another one was, we all know Geoff doesn't care about Xbox was the next one. And here's one that's pretty interesting. Not only does Geoff Keighley have an extreme parent biases, but he clearly doesn't have a pulse on the market like he thought he did. I mean, look, there's just so many responses here, some of which again are rated R, and we're not going to go down that route. But let me pose the question to you, because if there was any time to do a poll, I think this would have been the one that Geoff would have jumped on, simply because these games are coming to PlayStation, or at least two of the big ones, right? Fable, day and date. That's confirmed. That's coming out in autumn, which I think is September, right?
Yep.
Now, granted, Forza Horizon 6 releasing first on PC and Xbox, and it's not a console war thing. They told us what it is. It's just it's we don't have enough time for it. We're making the game for Xbox and PC. We got to make it the best way possible. And then when we have the time, and that's out for the masses in May, we are going to work on the PlayStation version to deliver the same quality that PC and Xbox are getting, and we can and they're going to be okay with that. So I would imagine that maybe October or November, even though it's the big scary GTA is going to be there, this game can hold its own. It's going to be able to hold its own. But I want to get your thoughts on this. Don't you find that's a little bit odd, considering that he is, well, I mean, I always think of Geoff as, okay, let me see how I can put this. I like to say that he is a diplomat, but he sometimes conducts himself in not that fashion. But he is the face of gaming, whether you guys and gals want to admit it or not. I understand there's a lot of people that don't like Geoff, and I hear you folks. Okay, I'm not going to fight you on if you don't like him, but he is a big part of gaming, whether you believe it or you don't. And the fact that he didn't have a poll, see, man, I think it's a little weird, man, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, I mean, obviously we know Geoff is a huge pony, but I mean, it is what it is, you know. At least he's I mean, at least he's a gamer talking about stuff, right? He's just into PlayStation, right?
Right.
That being said, I mean, it's clear, unless my dude was like sick or like dying and couldn't figure out how to get it in, it's clear that, you know, I think it was going to be a pretty big unanimous A across the board for a lot of people, because of Fable and Forza, and it was going to be a huge turnout because all of this stuff is coming to PlayStation as well. So, you know, it is such a positive thing that I think he just knew the answer to it, and he was like, you know what, this poll's not going to be very there's no chance of it going in any other direction than positive. So I don't know why he didn't do it. It seems like a waste regardless because of engagement, right? He's, you know, he has his own Twitter account as well as the Game Awards account, right? Because he wants that engagement, right? He has a lot of subscribers. You know, I'm sure he monetizes those subscribers through Twitter because he must get enough, you know, to do so. So I don't know why he would just miss the engagement part of it, and why he wouldn't, you know, go ahead and just do it, so that at least, you know, there are gonna be some ponies in there talking crap. But you know, it just seems like a very stupid thing. Like, it's very stupid that he didn't do
I agree.
it. And not just from us, because yeah, you know, it's not like his polls are something that we give a shit about, but you know, people just know that it's there, right? So at this point, it's become kind of a tradition. There's a show of almost any kind, and you're gonna get, you know, this poll at the end. So you know, especially when it's from Xbox, such a basically the biggest, you know, game provider in the world right now as far as consoles and PC, right? Like they put out more games everywhere. So like it makes no sense to waste the opportunity. But again, you know, what do we know? We know that because it was going to be positive, it's not going to be sexy, right? News outlets weren't going to be able to be like, oh snap, look at that developer direct got a C or a D as the main. No one was going to be able to talk about it that way. So it's like, for them, it's, you know, we say it all the time, right? Like sex sells, right? It's the spicy stuff that sells.
Yeah.
And when it comes to Xbox, because they're not gamers who are talking, you know, and out there, like the real gamers who love Xbox because they get provided with so many games, because they're not gamers, they're more just people who are talking about, you know, what's going on in the industry. It's not sexy for them, right? There's no negative news to come out of it. And even when you look at like the quote unquote positive news out there, it's not getting huge views, right? It's not getting, you know, people are not going crazy. Yes, the Dev Direct did do better than the state of play, per our boy Michael Yu, who looked up the facts for us the other night. But like at the end of the day, it's positive Xbox news, and these people don't care about it. You know what I'm saying? Like they just don't. They just don't. And it's sad. Now the question is, at what point is there just so much positive going on with Xbox and gaming that, you know, you are forced to continuously cover it, and you're forced to continuously put out pieces of information? Because I'm tell you what, anything that comes out for Fable is going to be talked about by everyone, right? Any little piece of news, any new trailer, any clip, anything is all going to be discussed by everyone because everyone's getting that game, right? PlayStation get it, everybody's getting it. So there's nowhere to hide from something like that. But when we have continuous flow of that, when there's more and more of these games, like the rest of this year is all big, IP that's going to be coming, all big IP that's coming to PlayStation as well. So with that scenario, at a certain point, the games are just going to be the thing that do the talking, right? And people are not going to know that it's Xbox or care that it's Xbox, because even if you go to if you go to PlayStation's Twitter and go in there and look at when they are pushing, Fable on their tweets and saying, "Oh, it's coming in autumn," and blah blah blah, and you look in there, there's just regular people who own PlayStations who are not talking shit about Xbox. They don't even know it is Xbox. They don't care. And that's the weird shit. Like we forget that the majority of people in the world don't give a fuck who makes what.
It's true.
They don't care. They don't care that Rockstar makes Grand Theft Auto. Okay? They're not Rockstar fans, they're Grand Theft Auto fans. That's why it doesn't translate to Red Dead Redemption 2, right? Red Dead Redemption 2, nowhere near. I mean, still biggest thing out there because they make amazing game, but nowhere near Grand Theft, right? Because it doesn't translate. They're not Rockstar fans, they're Grand Theft Auto fans, right? Halo fans, Gears fans, Fable fans. That's what this all started out as. This is all what was exciting to the vast majority of people. And that's still the case for the vast majority of people. It's only this continuously shrinking circle of people who are still so caught up with the console sales of it all, right? Who sold the most, right? For me, I would love to get to a point where PlayStation can deliver first part shit. I'm a huge fucking Last of Us fan. Sorry for cursing. I'm a huge Last of Us fan. Huge. I love The Last of Us. I don't care. It's just my thing. I love The Last of Us. I love Uncharted, right?
Yeah, that's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite IPs, and we will never get a new one.
Yeah, and it does suck that. I mean, I'm still hopeful that they are in fact making one with the daughter, right? I think that at some point that may be
you'd like to believe it because they should have followed suit with the way that 4 ended, and it ended really cool, to be honest with you. And it really would have been cool. I mean, they could have played, a small part, cameos, but it could have been the PlayStation version of Lara Croft. I'm not sure how many people actually want that rather than they want the Lara Croft. But if you're an Uncharted fan, and I'm a huge fan, my favorite is still 2. My by leaps and bounds is still my favorite.
I think what makes it most people's favorite is just how crazy that train scene is in the game. People forget that at the time that wasn't like a normal thing, like that was a big, grand, dope, crazy thing to exist. And again, look, the point is that I'm not in this for gaming to be one-sided only, right? I prefer Xbox 100%, Xbox through and through. I just love everything they do. If Xbox tomorrow, though, decided that they were going to dump all my favorite games, they were closing all the studios, and they were just going to, be a box that didn't make any games ever, and it's just a box, I wouldn't look at them the same. Right? I wouldn't look at them the same. That's not, at that point, they would just be a hardware box, right? And it's just, well, is your hardware better than the other one? Right? That's the only way I would look at it. It's, for me, Xbox is not the box. For me, Xbox was Halo.
Yes.
Halo is what fucking made me love gaming in a way that I never knew that I could love gaming. And the fact that Xbox is the one shepherding that, and then they created all these other IPs that I just love, and I just love their style. It's just what it is. That's what I'm a fan of. I'm a fan of gaming, and Xbox is my favorite version of it. When it comes to the console worship, I just hate the fact that they always hated on our shit. They always hated on it. They always try to make me feel like the games that I know are amazing are not. You know what I'm saying? Like, get out of here, bro. Like, that's crazy. So yes, all those clowns that sit there and keep talking the same shit about Xbox being trash and the games being trash. They're ridiculous, and we're gonna keep giving them the smoke because that's always gonna be. As long as they keep doing it, it's gonna keep going the same way because that's just wild. It's stupid, and we need voices on the other side to tell the world that hey, guess what? These shits are actually dope. Don't listen to these clowns, right? But everything else, like, come on, man. Like, this is not, I don't care who sells what. Xbox hasn't been the sales leader since Xbox 360. If that was the way that I made myself a fan of Xbox, then let's pack it up. What's the point? It's this is not about sales, my dude. It's about the games. And the next topic we're gonna get into is actually pretty funny. We'll talk about that. But like at the end of the day, like like the people who show up to these shows here and they come out and they want to hear about Xbox news. They want to hear about what's dope happening on Xbox. They want to hear what stupid shit is happening at PlayStation that just looks like they're the most incompetent group of people. And let's be clear, we know that just because something popular doesn't make it the best, right? Like all us core gamers know that we rather play other games than what's the most popular stuff out there. But it just kind of is what it is. So they're going to have that ability to talk about sales forever. But it's like that nobody's playing sales, man. We're playing games and we're eating so good over here, dude. It's so glorious, man. Game Pass literally just changed everything. Oh shit, BoomStick got to play the game. Look at that, he ain't messing around.
Like that one explosion. I got that put the popcorn. I got like 540 score on that one.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, I mean, look, it's just what we have on offer here is just it's top tier, man. It's just
I agree,
top tier. So
well, I mean, listen, no poll doesn't mean that it wasn't good. We all know it was good. And I think C Money did hit a chord personally by saying simply, if you go to the replies on the PlayStation advertisement of Fable launching day and date, ladies and gentlemen, same time, same date in autumn, the replies from what I like to call PlayStation gamers, right? They're not ponies. They're not console warriors. They are gamers who have a PlayStation, who have had a PlayStation 4 and a 3, and maybe they go all the way back. Maybe they're super OGs, but maybe they're not. Maybe they just got into PlayStation gaming. They got the PlayStation 4 Slim when they were a kid. And since then, that's what they've known and what they've played. And when they see a game come out like Forza or Fable, and they're RPG fans or they are, car enthusiasts, they're going to buy the game. If they see a game that has characters from Call of Duty in it, they're going to probably play it because they like Call of Duty. They're gamers. They don't care. I think see when he knocked it out of the park because they don't care about, well, who made the game. Did Playground Games make this game? Did Infinity Ward make the new Call of Duty? Or was that Treyarch? Or was that someone else? They don't care. They're fans of the brand. So they're going to buy the Call of Duty game. They're going to buy the Fable game because it looks like maybe The Witcher. And like, oh my God, this new game looks great. You can kick things. I'm in. Right? So
Thanks.
Look, it's again, the whole conversation started with no poll. I find it to be weird and very one-sided. And considering he is supposed to be, meaning Geoff Keighley, is supposed to be a diplomat to the games industry who works with him. And one of his biggest partners, yes, we know it's PlayStation. Yes, we know that he works with Nintendo. But one of his biggest partners is Xbox. And the one thing that I have to say, if I had criticism for him, and I do have some, and of course I'm going to be politically correct, as you know that I always am, is that he does not put his best foot forward when it comes to Xbox. And quite frankly, that's a bit disappointing. When you are 100%. A diplomat, when you are a voice or a figure of a certain industry, you are required to go out and put your best foot forward for gaming. Not PlayStation gaming, not just Xbox gaming or Nintendo gaming, but gaming as an overall as under the umbrella thought and theory. That's not what
Yeah.
happened here, so it's a bit disappointing. Fine.
Yeah, well,
Whatever.
listen, shout out to Xbox and Stein for not just ignoring it or
I agree.
pretending it
Yes,
doesn't
absolutely.
exist. Like
Yeah.
that's the world I love with Xbox now, is that they just don't give a F. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like I love the fact that they're not out here buckling to every type of pressure that's put
Yep.
on. Call of Duty did, and obviously we know why, and
We
we'll
have
talk about it
I
on the
still got
next
beef
one.
with them. Yep.
Yeah, I definitely have beef with them, but it's clear now why that they were so scared.
Eh,
But outside of that, they don't buckle, they don't change. They just say, "Hey, this is what we're doing." And the benefit is that most of the time what they're doing is in service of the customer, right? And that's what I care about. I don't care about any of the other bullshit. I care about what's best for us. And like I said, I have no regrets of supporting Game Pass and supporting Xbox. I love everything that's coming. Very excited for what we have to come this year. It looks crazy already. Fable has to be one of the most anticipated games of the generation at this point. Like this, it just looks insane. So yeah,
yeah,
Xbox out here doing the right thing.
no, absolutely. And look, to think that Playground Games is not releasing one, because last year you and I all we talked up was Obsidian, right?
Yep.
They did Avowed, phenomenal game, my personal game of the year, followed by The Outer Worlds 2. Now, The Outer Worlds 2 didn't sell, even though it was a multi-plat, as well as they would have wanted. But we did hear from the studio that says that they budgeted their games
Accordingly.
accordingly, meaning that
But
this was
that's
not a
why. See,
300. Yeah, good.
well, what I was gonna say is that like you gotta understand something. Xbox understands the value of these games and their IP.
Yes.
Outer Worlds is not and I've talked about this on our show. Outer Worlds is not some crazy IP, right? It's IPs are the things that blow up over time when they're big IPs. Outer Worlds is not that. Outer Worlds was a smaller game the first time around. Yes, it's Obsidian, but guess what? Honestly, if being honest, until Xbox bought Obsidian, that for me personally, I know they made things, but I didn't play really their games. The only one I played that I really liked was Alpha Protocol back in the day. But it's not like that game made me some Obsidian groupie. Once they got bought, once I got to really see what they do, and then Outer Worlds came out right at around that time, and I was like, oh shit, this is good. And then yes, Outer Worlds 2 and Avowed are two of my favorite. But like you're talking about a new IP with Avowed, and you're talking about a smaller IP. It was never going to be a huge, crazy big sales. First of all, they're giving the game away to 35 million people. Like,
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing, right? Like, first of all, Xbox needs to be out of the zeitgeist, not the zeitgeist, the conversation of the sales game as much. Like, you cannot, there's not a one-to-one when PlayStation releases a game versus when Xbox releases a game.
Yeah,
If
I agree.
Hi-Fi Rush has 3 million players through Game Pass and sales, that is a accomplishment considering that they gave it away to so many people, right? Like that means more to the ecosystem. The sales are not going to be look the same. You can't when you're giving away. Why do you think PlayStation won't give away their games? They won't do it because they need it. They need
Well,
it.
I mean, I mean, again, this is not console worry, but this is the truth. They're having problems selling their games as it is. So if they were giving it away in the service, they would sell even less, and that's the
The only
risk.
people who bought the game would get it for free because it's only that super core who would subscribe for the free game. So they would get almost no sales every time from their games until they go multi-plat
I
100%.
mean, listen,
Um,
it's it's a wild time we're living in, and you know what? See, money. Let's segue into the numbers. So
let's do it.
yesterday, as the clocks, continue to turn every day, a new quarterly report happened for Xbox. And again, the numbers, they're not great, folks. They're just not. Do the numbers mean that Xbox is dead? Well, the answer is absolutely not. Do these numbers that are, I think, were expected but not as much expected, going to close studios and lay off thousands of people? It's not. These numbers, yes, they're bad. Let's be clear, and I'll get to the numbers in a second. But this is not the only publisher dealing with this. Ubisoft is. EA was purchased last year because of numbers like this. Rockstar, Grand Theft Auto Rockstar, have to keep telling their investors, oops, it slipped. We're having problems. This is, again, everybody wants to make this out to be an Xbox only problem because it sells YouTube videos. That's not the case here. Now, my thumbnail clearly is not an Xbox dead thumbnail. It's basically a red arrow going down because they did lose some things. So let's get into the numbers, C-Money, and we're going to get into what happens. How does Xbox and Phil Spencer course correct? Because they're going to have to make some changes here, right? They can't keep losing. And we have, and the last story of today's podcast is going to be something that comes the way of Exorcies, where he believes through someone that he's spoken to that we are going to get a hardware reveal. The question is when. But let's get into the numbers first. So, of course, credit where credit is due. The report is the report, and we've seen a lot of people post it. Well, I pulled Idle Sloths because obviously it's broken down very simply, and it's one picture. I can read you the numbers, and then we can just go. So here are Xbox's FY26 Q2 highlights. And while they're not a lot of highlights here, folks, because they're negative in pretty much everything. So the Xbox's total revenue declined 9%. Now, if you read into the numbers and you read into the report, the expected decline was going to be between 1 and 6%. They expected a decrease or a decline. Well, it was 9%. 3% higher than they originally had forecasted, which is their year-over-year last quarter. That's not great, folks. It's just not. The Xbox content and services revenue decreased by 5%. Now, this is where, you know what? I'm going to come back to this because I have a whole rhetoric for that as to why it happened. And lastly, well, the hardware. Folks, the hardware has been decreasing every quarter. This is not surprising. This is something they expected, and it was a whopping 32%, which is not great. And if you just look at some of the numbers that came out of last year, just as a whole, Xbox was down 70% in console sales, which is unbelievable, right? Probably the worst year for console sales for them, and that's self-inflicted. They raised their prices twice, and they made the hardware difficult to find, so people weren't buying it, especially at those very, very high prices. Sony was down 40%. I mean, no one really reports on that, though, right? You didn't hear many people talking about it. And Nintendo was down 10% in a year where they just launched a new console. So that's very surprising. So it's not just an Xbox problem. But see, Money, where I want to kind of bring you in on this,
okay,
is the Xbox content and service revenue decrease, or decrease by 5%. Where does this start and stop? Well, listen, folks, the truth of the matter is very simple. They did something that I thought was stupid last year, and they raised Xbox Game Pass by 50%. Right now, yes, it's $10. But by the numbers, that's a 50% increase. This was, I think, at a time where a lot of people were hoping we would not get an increase at all, but at least maybe a $5 one. Like, you go up $5 and you're like, oh, I don't really like that. But it went up 50%. And a lot of people, I saw Destin Legary's video this morning, and he talked about specifically that the cancel Xbox Game Pass thing was trending on Google. And it trended. And you know something? It was such a big deal that when they told people how to cancel Game Pass, the site crashed every day for a week because people were canceling in droves. Because look, the world is the world. So this is a bit of a self-inflicted wound. The console stuff, listen, man, they raised prices and they didn't do anything for Christmas. Sony, does what Sony does, and whether you like it to hear it or not, they took advantage of a fumble or, not doing what you're supposed to do to, keep, your console selling. And they dropped the PlayStation 5 by $50 during the holidays. And guess what? They won Black Friday. I mean, that's just what Sony does. That's the only thing they could logistically hang their hat on is how many consoles they've sold and shipped. But past that, that's really about it. What are your thoughts on this, E-Money?
Okay, so it's gonna be just to give you like a heads up, right? The tone is a little different. The tone shift on my end is a little different with all this because how much was the total loss across the board when they accounted for everything they lost from hardware to content? What is the total loss from the Xbox division? How far was it down?
Okay, so Xbox's total revenue decline is 9%.
9%.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Let's look at a couple things that have been discussed, and then you tell me what's happening, right? Remember, this 9% is based off, understand, I need you to be extremely clear here.
Yeah.
This is new Xbox's 9% loss. So this is post ABK.
Correct.
Meaning this includes, this is comparing last year. Last year, I wonder what was truly different, not ideas and hopes and dreams of, Game Pass went up, everybody must have unsubscribed or not did it. No. What actually took place? I know. Maybe it was, maybe Bobby Kotick coming out and telling us that Call of Duty did 64% worse than it did the year before.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. $60 game versus $30 sub, right? Okay. If it did 60, how many copies of Call of Duty are typically sold in a year?
It's usually the best-selling game of the year. Last year,
usually
it wasn't.
Best-selling game of the year.
Yeah.
I think it sells roughly in the 20-something and higher range.
Yeah, I'd say 20 to 25 million is what it usually
20-something in that range. Okay. Yeah. If it lost 64%, again, this 9% is compared to Black Ops 6 that did record numbers for Black Ops 6.
Yes.
Black Ops 7 did 64% worse in sales. And total, they only lost 9% in total. Let's talk about the real math and not the bullshit that people want to put out there for you. There's one reason why they're down, and it's the lack of Call of Duty success. It did not do what it should have done because the game was not what it should have been. Did I enjoy the game? Yes. Did I enjoy it as much as Black Ops 6? No. Just the facts. Did it mess with me that my skins didn't transfer over so I don't spend a ton of time in multiplayer like I used to? Absolutely, right? Let's just be clear. Call of Duty is the only thing that went down. And the fact that it went down so much, so drastically, 64%, and they only went down 9% is crazy. Think about console sales. They went down 32%.
Yeah.
But they only went down 9% total. What does that tell you? All the people who are trying to say, and I already saw Nib's 4,000 letter essay. All the people who are trying to say that Outer Worlds, all these games that were released on Xbox and PlayStation weren't enough. Actually, they were enough. Actually, they went ahead and pulled their weight in spades because they took a 32% loss in hardware sales. They took a 64% loss in Call of Duty physical $60, $70, $900, $100 purchases.
All
Took
right.
64% loss of that and converted that to only a 9% decrease over a banner year. I wonder what the number will look like if we consider this year versus not last year, but the year before when Call of Duty wasn't on top of the world like Black Ops 6 was. I wonder how that math would play out. Let me tell you something. I bet you it's a lot closer than the 9% difference between last year and this year. I hate to listen. $30 for Game Pass is more than a lot of people want to spend. I get it. But you have to understand, as much as people say that, when they talk about their content being lower, you're still taking people who are saying, okay, I'm going to cancel my $30 a month. I mean, I'm sorry, my what was it, $18 before? 18,
it was $20. It was $20 originally. Okay. Yeah, $20.
I'm going to cancel my $20, okay, my $20 that I spend a month, and I'm going to cancel that. Okay, remember, they're not canceling $30 because they just didn't convert to 30. They're canceling the 20.
The $20.
But you know what happens when they don't have Game Pass? And
they
they
still
buy the games. Xbox, they're buying the fucking games.
Yeah, yes.
So guess what happens? It gets negated. Why do you think Xbox doesn't care? Think about it, my dude. If you have an Xbox, if that's the console you have, and you're not paying for Game Pass, you're buying the games. Yes. You're buying the games.
At full boat, no less.
As much as they want to talk about it, the only thing that was detrimental to this scenario for Xbox is Call of Duty shit in the bed. And you know what? I almost for certain, guess what? They planned it to be lower. Okay, they planned it to be lower.
No, but they absolutely planned for the loss because again, if you read the report, they expected 1 to 6%. It was a bit more, and I think you are hitting it out of the park because the decline in Call of Duty. Now, look, if I may add some additional context to what you're saying, because you did say, and I agree with you, we're Call of Duty players. I love 6. I enjoyed 7. If you gave me the choice of what to play, I'm going 6 over 7. 7 is good, folks. It's not terrible. The movement is great. The guns are great. The maps are really good, but it's not the same. It's just 6 is better. Okay. For a lot of reasons. But we also, and again, folks, you want numbers, you want opinions. Sometimes we got to get and read in between the lines. Here's another reason why. Battlefield 6 came out. It did a lot of big numbers. It's the best-selling game of last year. They finally won the title from Call of Duty after 20 years of taking an L. They finally did it, folks. They're the best-selling game. That's a big deal. But you also got to take into account why were the sales down in Call of Duty? It wasn't because of Game Pass. Listen, let me tell you right now, they may never admit this, C-Money. I know that you'll never hear this come out of Phil or Sarah or anyone's mouth, but they would rather you stub than buy the 1 or 2 games per year because it's more money in their pockets because you as the consumer will pay your $30 and because you didn't spend $70+ or $100 on a collector's edition, you're inclined to spend where? Microtransactions. This is a fact, folks. This is not a suggestion. This is a fact. But it wasn't just Battlefield that was eating Call of Duty's lunch last year. It was Arc Raiders, a $30 game that came out and took the interwebs by storm. And yes, consoles, it did really well. PC, it did really well. But This is why. This is what happens when you have competition. Now, I'm going to be honest. If Black Ops 7 would have been as good as 6, maybe we're not having this conversation.
We
Maybe the
absolutely wouldn't
numbers
be.
wouldn't
We
be the same.
wouldn't
Please
be.
continue, C.
We absolutely would not be. If Call of Duty Black Ops 7 did what Call of Duty Black Ops 6 did, we wouldn't be having this discussion. They would be up a couple points. But it didn't. And that's just is what it is. The facts are the facts. We just know this to be true. I will say this. When you go ahead and you look at everything that Xbox has done this year or this past year, the games that they've released, everything that they've done, putting games in other places, Forza Horizon 5, a 4-year-old game, being one of the best-selling games of the year for PlayStation. Think about this stuff, right? This is crazy stuff. They've done a phenomenal job. And the fact that one game, which we know, like, let's be clear, Call of Duty sales are like they're a monstrosity, right? Like they are
ridiculous.
Crazy high, that even with it losing 64% of its sales, it still was one of the top sold games of the year. Like, understand, it still did what it needed to do in general. It just could not support the entire thing. And again, you have to understand, you're comparing one year to the other year where Call of Duty is in the mix. And if Call of Duty's having a fantastic year, and then the next year it shits the bed, for lack of a better word, right? Like, at the end of the day, you're going to feel that, right? Console sales going down means nothing. Microsoft is actively telling you they don't care how you engage in their games. They're not telling you you must go buy an Xbox. So arguing and crying about Xbox sales when Microsoft themselves are saying, yeah, we really, either way works for us. Whether you engage with us on our box, through PC, through PlayStation, wherever we release our games, because games are the most profitable. That is why 32% loss in console sales didn't do anything to their bottom line. It doesn't matter. It's negligible now. It doesn't mean that much, because again, it's only a 9% dip all up with everything that they do. So if you take everything into consideration, there's one culprit here. It's Call of Duty. Now,
yes,
I saw some people talking about how when they went ahead and raised the price 30%, 50% or whatever to $30 a month, that they packed it up. They left Xbox, right? I'm done with them. I'm done. Can't believe them. I can't believe them. How dare they be so greedy as to raise the price higher than other people and then give me their first party games? Because, when you buy PlayStation Plus Premium, you do, oh shit, you don't get their first party games, right? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Hey, let me help you guys out. As much as it sucks that we're not still getting the cheap price that we had, sure, remember this, and I'm just got to be honest, and you might not like to hear it from me, because at the end of the day, it is what it is. I saved money when the price went up to $30. I have Fortnite Crew. Oops. This is a W for me. Yeah. I got more. Now, if you don't benefit from everything that they offer, then there's a tier for you. It's called the one below, right? You go below, you still get most of the stuff. You just got to wait. At the end of the day, Xbox being held to a standard of where no one else is crazy. How can you complain about a $30 option per month? Yes, you had it, but oops, no one else is offering you their games day and date. No one else is offering you the plethora of games throughout the month. Yeah. No one else is offering that to you in their subscription. We literally just did a story on Tuesday how PlayStation Plus Premium has sneakily started almost shutting down their PlayStation 3 cloud game support. People on PlayStation are complaining on Reset Era that when they go try to launch a game, nothing happens. So in a world where they're charging $18 or $19 for a month for a subscription, that one of the key selling points they're not even offering, and you're going to go ahead and say, let's put the gun to Xbox bad because they're going higher in price, but they're offering me something that no one does, which is their first-party games day and day. And unlike PlayStation, that's not 1 or 2 games. That's not 1 or 2 games. Listen, when it was $20, the same conversation had to happen. Is it worth it to you? Will you spend more money not having Game Pass than you would having Game Pass? If you're not someone who frequents the first party Xbox, offerings, then at $20, it wasn't for you.
Yeah.
At $30, there's no difference. At $20, it wasn't for you. $10 more a month is not the end all be all if you enjoy playing a large amount of games with the quality of these games that we get. Bro, they gave you Game of the Year Expedition 33 in Game Pass day 1 when it dropped. Game of the Year. What's this year's Game of the Year that will most likely come out of Game Pass? Look,
I mean,
this is the reality.
This year alone is first of all,
it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. Outside of Grand Theft Auto, the only thing that's happening is happening on Game Pass. I mean, obviously, you could get it without Game Pass, but if you have Game Pass, you have everything. You've
already won in 20.
You've already won. You have all the excitement happening in your life right now if you have Game Pass. And again, if you want to go ahead and have a problem, feel free. And I know I see it. This idea. Can I see what I see one of the things. Would you say one bad thing about Xbox for $1 million? Fam, I already told you that I can't stand, and I speak with my wallet, not this bullshit on Twitter and on YouTube. I can't stand the fact that they went ahead and promised that we would get Call of Duty 6 skins in Call of Duty 7. In Black Ops 7.
Back. Yeah.
And they walked it back. So you know what I did? I walked back my wallet. I haven't bought one skin in Call of Duty Black Ops 7. I stopped buying skins immediately on Call of Duty Black Ops 6 because I'm not in it for the let me fit in with everybody who's keeping it real. No, I keep it real. That's the problem. I keep it real. I keep it too real. Y'all don't like that. Y'all don't like the fact that I'm not going to cry when Microsoft lays off people. I don't give a fuck. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
I don't give a crap. Yeah, I don't care. That's not my business.
Right.
That's not my business.
Well, you're a consumer first, and you see, I think that's where it gets.
The only part that I care about. What do I get at the end of it? I don't care who works at the store, at the studio. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care who makes these games. I'm not in it for them. Listen, do I know some of them? Yes, great people. I'm not saying that I hope they have bad stuff happen. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that if bad stuff happens, I'm not going to give up or go and throw a tantrum out in these streets for what? So that y'all like me? Who are you? Who are you? You are no one to me. I don't care if you like me. I don't care if you think I'm an apologist or whatever the hell it is for these people. I don't apologize for anybody. I care about me and my wallet. Microsoft, Xbox, they messed with me and my wallet with Call of Duty. And what did I do? I spoke with my wallet. I go see me on if I ever play Black Ops 7 again. And I don't even play it anymore because I lost interest. It's a good game. Sure. I lost interest. I beat the game. I lost interest in the multiplayer. Why? I don't care what you guys think. I like buying skins. That's why Fortnite is my jam.
Yeah.
I love the fact that I just bought The Office. I can't wait for Pam and Jim to drop. Let's go. I'm ready. I don't care. And if you're not going to tell me that my skins being bought are going to move on to the next game, then I'm done. I'm not spending the money. I'm part of this decline. I'm part of this decline because I didn't spend my money on skins like they wanted me to. But I'm not going to look at what they did with that and then tell me that or say that they're the worst, even though I'm eating on Game Pass like a king. Like a king.
That's true.
If you have Game Pass, you are royalty. You are experiencing what none of these people are experiencing who don't have Game Pass unless they're spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. You're getting thousands and thousands of dollars in gaming in your Game Pass subscription. If that doesn't work for you, if you're not fluent in gaming, if you say, nah, I'm just going to play these 1 or 2 games, then fam, don't subscribe.
Then buy the games.
I don't care.
Yeah, then buy the games. Yeah.
That's it. Buy them. Buy them. You want to go to sell your Xbox, go to PlayStation and buy Fable. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. It doesn't matter.
No, I got to be honest with you, C-Money. You've knocked it out of the park, brother.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
I'm not here for that. You know what? Let me tell you something. Since the day we started, the first time I was on Boom, since then, nothing has ever changed. I don't ever pretend to give a shit about anything I don't care about. And if you come out here talking stuff that I don't agree with, I will tell you, go ask Paris when he came on and we had a whole big thing. We're cool now, but back when it first started, I don't care who you are. It doesn't matter. When you come on here and you have a mic and you talk, I don't care who you are. You have an opinion, I got an opinion about your opinion. And if it's bullshit, if it's BS, if it's you just talking shit for the sake of talking shit, then I'm going to talk shit too. That's it. That's just what it is. You don't like it? Too bad. We don't change for nobody.
I mean, listen, this is what we were hoping for.
The live
raw and uncut.
Want to act like they care. You know what I care about? The people who show up to my show and say, "Yo, here's a super chat. Here's a subscription, and here's all my time that I spend with you in these hours that you're live. 4 hours live. You got people here forever rocking out with us. Those are the people I care about. I don't care about these random people who want to show up to the show and be like, ooh, I don't like what he's talking about. Then get the go. The same way you clicked on, click off. Go find somebody who's going to placate your desires. That's not me, fam.
There are shows for you. Yes, I actually listen. I mean, look, I got to be honest with you. See, this is what a show. I mean, this is Hulk rage that's coming off on the microphone, and I absolutely love it.
They think they show up. We see them once in a blue or whatever it is, and they're like, "Hey, I don't like what you're saying." Okay. I'm not here to placate you, my dude. I'm not. This is my shit. I say what I want. If you like it, great. If you don't, keep it moving, fam. Nobody's tying you to anybody.
You know what? Ultimately, folks, and again, I this is for me as the host. I'm absolutely loving this because normally, like I said, you'll see a story like this and you'll get the Xbox is dead conversation. People are gonna do the videos. You know who they are. Xbox is not dead, folks. Yes, they took losses, and you know what? Ultimately, and I think really what comes out of this conversation is the way C broke it down. The culprit here isn't Xbox. The culprit here clearly is the fact that Call of Duty, quote, shit the bed. It was not what everyone was hoping it would be. And I'm one of them. See, that's where I'm a little annoyed because, you heard me before we knew what Black Ops 7 was going to be. What did you hear me talk about? Oh my God. We're getting a sequel to Black Ops 7, but it's also going to be a sequel to 2, which was my favorite in the series. And look, the single player or the co-op single player was garbage. It ultimately, it was. That's what it was. I'm sorry.
I mean, I don't think it's horrible, but it's also not on the caliber of what 6. I think 6 being so good. Like I would say this
it
one
set the bar so high that it was unattainable. Is really what it comes down to. Yeah.
So they did it twice, right? They had a good one. Was it Modern Warfare 3 or whatever? And then they did Modern Warfare 4.
What they did is 2 was phenomenal. 3 came out back to back. And what did they do? It was supposed to be a DLC. They extended it by making it a full purchase. It shit the bed. It was still the best-selling game that year, but it also didn't have much competition when it came to games like Arc Raiders or even Battlefield. Exactly. It was the sole first-person shooter. So it still did good, but it reviewed terrible. And like I said, that what they did with Modern Warfare 3 Warzone like maps. A lot of people didn't like it. I didn't care for. I mean, I beat it. I enjoyed it, but I could see where people had a problem. Now you fast forward their down year to 6. 6 was amazing. 6 is by far the best selling in the series. In my opinion, it has become my favorite in the series. And then they come out with 7, and 7's multiplayer is good. It's not just that it's just passable, it's good, but it's not as good as 6. And the single player in 6 was phenomenal. And the so-called single player / multiplayer / co-op was terrible. It's just is what it is. And that's why it was a down year.
Yeah. And that's it. I mean, those are the real numbers. It also shows that everything else was actually pretty good. The other sales for the other content, the sales for Game Pass, all that stuff was good enough to not make it a crazy down year when you're considering 32% loss in hardware sales and almost 64% or whatever it was that they told us for Black Ops, right? Call of Duty. So look, again, at the end of the day, new year, new time. Frankly, unless you're a investor in Microsoft, none of this matters because
it should matter to you, right?
They're giving us more and more, right? If you're an Xbox player, if you're an Xbox head, if you're a gamer here, we're getting more and more. Everything that we're getting in Game Pass has been so good. I've been really, really loving it. I'm excited for what's to come. February, we're getting High on Life 2. It's come on, man. Like, we have so much good stuff happening, man. We literally just dropped today Warhammer Space Marine 2. Come on, man. That's fire.
And Game Pass. Folks, I'm here to tell you, I bought the game. So I'm not going to say I'm pissed because I buy games. I buy a lot of games, as a matter of fact. But if you did not buy Space Marine 2, it's in Game Pass, and I'm here to tell you that, my God, that game is tip of spear. But
we're gonna play it on We Doing It Live tonight for sure.
Oh, nice, dude. Okay, that's a really good one. That's a really good one. Yeah, that's a really good pick because Space Marine 2 is dope. But look, we do have a hardware topic to get into. This is going to be another one that's fun. Shout out to C Money for just delivering one of the best, I think, segments that we've done this year. And I know the year's early, but certainly in a very long time because he dropped it like it was hot. There was no doubt about it. And you know what? He's not wrong. I think he broke it down in a way where if you are someone that follows numbers and you wanted to know why the numbers were low, this is why. This is what happened. Their main driver, which is Call of Duty, wasn't as good and didn't sell as much. And I had seen somebody say that Ghost of Yotai sold better than Call of Duty. Just for, again, no names because we don't want to embarrass anybody. But no, that's not true because Forza Horizon 5, a 4-year-old game, sold better than Ghost of Yotai and Death Stranding 2. Just for numbers.
They use the United States number like that's the world.
It's not the world.
Game is sold everywhere. This game is sold everywhere. If you're sitting down just looking at the United States and you're excited that on PlayStation Ghost of Yotai was a little higher, that's cool. But then when you look at the European one and you're like, oh snap, what happened? Why did everything switch? Why is Forza in the top 5 for the year and not Ghost of Yotai, right? It's like almost like these games are sold everywhere. It's fun.
Yeah, shockingly. It's not just again, you got to open up your eyes to the world. When we talk numbers, it's not just one region, it's all regions. But again, Ghost of Yotai did not sell as well as Sony would have wanted because a 4-year-old game topped both of their exclusives in Death Stranding and Ghost of Yotai. And well, I can only imagine how Forza Horizon 6 is going to sell when it releases on Xbox, on PC, and then eventually later this year on PlayStation. It's probably going to be, again, if GTA doesn't come out this year, and we don't know, I am going to say wholeheartedly that Forza Horizon 6 will be one of the best-selling games this year. That is not even a suggestion.
Agreed.
I would not be surprised for them to hit 15-20 million in a year. That's how big this game is going to be. I think Fable is it going to also be another big game. But let me catch up on Super Chat, see money, and we'll get into this hardware topic, and we'll get everyone out of here. So Dave Reezy in the chat, salute to you, kind sir. He says this is funny. Mustard does for C Money what spinach does for Popeye.
No, it doesn't. It does not.
I actually think it's the opposite. I think it makes him weaker if you put mustard in front of him. He loses strength and power.
Exactly.
So thank you so much for the $2 Super Chat, brother. Super, and I appreciate you being here, man. Jay Slay in the chat drops a very generous $2 Super Chat. He asks, Boom, in all caps, please tell me you played Speedball. It's amazing. So I read your Super Chat, and I went and looked up the video. I'm going to download it and play it. It looks freaking...
What's Speedball?
Okay. I don't have the... So basically, Speedball is kind of like... it's like the soccer cars with people. That's like really what it is.
With people?
Yeah, that's exactly like what rematch? It is. Yes, it's. I mean, there's even Judge Dredd characters in here, which I was like, what is happening?
What?
Yes.
Is it a new game?
It's a new game. Yes, it's a isometric view, and it's kind of like space football, but it's all the characters are in armor, and when I say football, not like NFL football, meaning that like soccer football, and it's kind of like soccer cars but with people. This game was originally a 8-bit game, and they made it into this 3D thing, and it looks freaking dope, man, like crazy. You know what I'm gonna do? See money. Let me just copy. While I read the super chats, I'm gonna drop this into your DM. Take a look at the trailer. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. I just sent it to you. So let me just continue with it, and then we'll get into the last topic. So Jay Slay, thanks to you, brother. I got a game to play. It looks dope. I cannot wait. We have Gamer by Choice, who's been a channel member, ladies and gentlemen. This is insane. 76 months, bro.
Holy snap.
That is as long as the channel has been around, and I don't even know what to say other than, That's God, wild. Thank you. That is just insane.
Gamer by Choice. That is awesome, my dude.
Yeah,
Shout out
I mean,
to you, bro.
76 months. I mean, that is just crazy, brother. But
fire.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. He says, we live in a world where narratives are more important than facts and statistics. Gaming is no exception. People want to hate on Xbox because it is a narrative being presented. It is what it is. Yeah, I mean, look, I want to just answer this question here. The truth of the matter is very simple. It does not matter what Xbox does, right? They are going to release. I mean, think about this for a second, folks. You want to talk about narratives? Let's talk Xbox narratives. Clip this, right? Let's talk Xbox narratives. In 2026, they are releasing a new Gears, Forza, Halo, Fable, and Modern Warfare 4. That's just 5 of them, right? In this 1 year, 2026, Xbox will have released more games from first party than Sony has done in 3. You want to talk narratives, ladies and gentlemen? You want to be facetious? Let's be facetious. Fuck it, right? 5 games I just rattled off, and those 5 games are probably going to be the highest reviewed games in years. They're going pretty much everywhere, so they're going to sell and be some of the best-selling games of the year. And Xbox is feeding PlayStation gamers something that PlayStation Studios cannot do. That's a narrative for you. See, money. Do you want to add anything to that?
It's 100% the truth. The idea that Xbox, they still say it, Xbox dead, Xbox dead. Fam, I don't know how you can know anything about gaming and say something like that. Like, all you're doing is telling me that you don't know anything about gaming. You don't know anything. You're literally just this loser who thinks that by saying that somebody's gonna put a like on your post or retweet it or comment and say, "Yeah, I'm with you, bud. Xbox dead." You're a clown. You're a clown. A gamer who's on Xbox is being fed like no one else, especially if you're a Game Pass subscriber. If you're a Game Pass subscriber, come on, man. PlayStation, what they're releasing 2 games this year. Saros, a follow-up to a game that nobody gave a shit about in the first place, right? Returnal. Who
Yeah.
How many people played that game? Nobody.
700,000 people bought it on PlayStation. That was it.
It's a nothing burger, right? Part 2 doesn't look at you. I wish they would make a game that interested me, but they don't. And then what? Wolverine? Yeah, Wolverine. What is it? Marvel. It's not PlayStation. It's Marvel. They're making a PlayStation a game, and it's hopefully gonna be good. But does it look like it's a PlayStation 5 gen game? No, man. It looks like a PlayStation 4 game spruced up for PlayStation 5, as they done with Spider-Man 2, as they done with multiple games, God of War, Ragnarok, all the same stuff. It's all in the same boat. They're still not pushing ahead. Xbox, the only game in town where they are taking gaming to where it's supposed to be going forward. Fable did it back when it did. I'm not Fable. Hellblade 2 did it. They started off the idea of true next gen. Starfield really was like that soft start of like, okay, this is a next gen game. And they went ahead, followed that with Hellblade. And now we're on to bigger and better things. Avowed, God, what a stunning game. And then we're going forward, right? They're doing so much. They released more games last year than PlayStation released in the generation, my dude. Just 1 year. Just 1 year. Like, I don't know why we're pretending that there's even a conversation to be had amongst gamers. Even if you love PlayStation IP, they're not releasing them. If you're a fan of Last of Us, go F yourself in 2026 and 2025 and 2024 and 2023 and 2022 and 2021 and 2020. You didn't get it. 6 years. Nothing from that studio. Come on, man. Like, this is just the reality of what it is. You're not getting anything exciting on that side of the fence. It's just the reality of what it is. I'll be the first to tell you if there's some dope stuff. Wolverine looks like a Wolverine game. Am I going to buy it? At some point. Yes. At some point, I'm going to play it because I love Wolverine. But am I looking at that like, yo, finally they did the next gen? No. I know when I'm in PlayStation Town, I'm still living in PlayStation 4's world. I know that. That's all they know. PlayStation 4, they won't let it go. It's like your aunt who still thinks she's in the 70s, so she still rocks the 70s, hairdos and stuff. It's like, fam, let it go. But they won't. That's the only way they could work. And it's funny because you guys, we were talking about the console sales decrease, and for Xbox losing 32% year over year, I mean, it's really a nothing burger because they're actively telling you they don't care what you buy. But
well, again, this is where the Xbox Play Anywhere conversation comes in, because ultimately you don't need the Xbox. Again, I personally will always buy a console. I'm not going to play on my TV if I could buy a console. I'm just not going to do that. But there is something to be said about why. And this is going right back to it. You know what, folks? What I'm going to do, because we're getting a little bit late, and I don't want to keep C-Money here more than 90 minutes because he's got to do something with the kids. I'm going to move the hardware conversation to tomorrow, Breakfast at Boom, because we have a big panel. We'll get into what Exodus has to say, but I do want to just add some additional context, and it just popped into my mind because we were talking about it, C-Money, literally just seconds ago, is the 32 percentile decrease. There's reasons for that. Now, you can say that it's self-inflicted by Xbox giving you more places to play, but the truth of the matter is where are they growing? What was one of the biggest stories in November of last year? I have that story in front of me. It was written by Jez Corden of Windows Central. They were up 45% in xCloud and Xbox Cloud Gaming. 45% they were up. So if you don't need to buy the console, you're not going to buy the console right now. again, I'm going to buy the console and they're going to sell me a console in 2 flavors. We're going to get an OEM this year and their own next year, right? Now, that's just my opinion, but that's how I believe it's going to go down. So I'm buying the console like I bought a ROG Xbox Ally X. I bought it. I use it every day, if not every other day, at least in a week, maybe 6 times, because I think the thing is killer. I love it.
Facts.
But it's a piece of hardware. I bought it. I was glad to buy it. The next Xbox, I'm going to buy it. Folks in the chat are going to buy it because we're diehard gamers. We're diehard Xboxers. But, you know, if you're telling people that they can play on their TV or their pewter or their tablet or their phone, they're not going to need to buy an Xbox. But you know what they are buying? Games. If they're not buying the games at full boat, they're getting the subscription service that allows them to stream and play the games that way. So again, the Xbox is dead because they lost their numbers thing. You're gonna see it. Like I said, we're late in the week. Wait, you're gonna see the videos. You're gonna see the people because we're getting towards the towards the end of the month. So they're gonna want to try and get that last minute money engagement. So that of course they're gonna sell you on a lie. Don't believe the bullshit. That's the best way I can say it. It's just, yes, the numbers are bad. Yeah, but that's not what they wanted, but they're not dead. And they're not going anywhere anytime soon, considering that they're feeding PlayStation Nation with their games. And they're going to buy them in droves. You know why? Because Sony ain't putting out any games of their own. That's just facts.
And just to be clear, whatever comes from it is what it is. Right? Like, to be clear, you go ahead and they might go ahead and lay off some people somewhere to recoup the loss of what Call of Duty did. That's business. You don't like it, that's a personal thing. I really don't care. Again, at the end of the day, what happens in that space we're the end user. Like, don't get it twisted. Don't forget your place. You have nothing to do with that.
You're just a consumer, man. I mean, listen, nobody wants anybody to lose jobs.
If you are somebody who goes ahead and is invested in Microsoft, then them doing that is a plus to you. Okay. They're going to recoup the cost so that your value goes back up, and they're going to take what they lost somewhere and get it somewhere else. If that's the case, it is what it is. But again, no one's advocating for anybody losing their jobs. Nobody wants anybody to lose their job, but the world is what it is, and it's going to come from somewhere, whether that's losing jobs or doing something else. We'll find out what they do, but let's not pretend like, oh my God, they're gonna let people go, so they're dead. Nah, man.
They forecasted this. It just was a little higher, and like I said, I don't think it could have been said any better than C Money did. The culprit here is the loss of sales and the loss of interest in a Call of Duty game that came out and basically shit the bed. And I mean,
compared to a game that broke records,
dude. Right now, Black Ops 6.
Crazy.
Hey, you want to talk records again? We're getting all over the place here, but this is fun, right? You want to talk records, C Money? Let's talk records. If you go back, the top 20 selling games on PlayStation's lifetime. Right? Not last year or the last 10, its entire existence. You know what's number 5? Black Ops 6.
Black, after 1 year of existence, it moved to the number 5 spot for PlayStation's entire lifetime.
Yes.
Jeez. Holy hell.
So, all right. I mean, the game sold gangbusters. And it sold really well.
And compared to that, the crap show that Black Ops 7 was, and they only went down 9%. Come on, man.
Yeah.
And again, people forget, and they think that means they lost money. They didn't lose money because they made the money last time. It's just compared to that, they made slightly less money, but they still made money. This is not a loss. Xbox is not losing money where they're like, man, how are we gonna how are we gonna hit the bills this year? You know
How are we
what I'm
going to
saying?
pay the rent? Oh no, eviction.
Oh no, nah, fam. They still made crazy amounts of money. Be with the billion. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a
Yeah.
billion, right? So like they made billions of dollars. They're not hurting, they're not crying, but they're never going to say it's okay. He's never going to come out here and be like, oh, it's all right that we lost that money. No, because why? Investors don't want to see down, they only want to see up. And unfortunately, when you have a record year, it's kind of difficult if your next year is not also record breaking. Just is what it is, man.
It's fine. Listen, again, folks, if you're an Xbox fan, you're winning, folks. You are winning. Keep subscribing. You keep winning. Joe Dunmore has been a channel member for 38 months. So, Joe, salute to you, kind sir. Great to see you here.
38 months. That's a long time, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. So some of the subscribers we have here just unbelievably loyal. He says if you listen to this channel and don't know how to get Game Pass cheaper than $30, you're not paying attention. I mean, how many times have I talked about it? As a matter of fact, we are partnered with ENEBA, and they had and again, I haven't checked today, but they had a 3-month card. I think it was $52 for 3 months of Xbox Game Pass, and when you consider full price is 90, that's almost half. So if you're interested, go to the show notes. You'll see the link in there. Please use the link for Double Barrel Gaming, because you know we help them, they help us, so to speak, right? So yeah, if you're looking for cheap Game Pass, go to eneba.com and tell them Mr. Boomstick sent you, folks. Sith Lord, who's been a channel member 45 months. Oh my God, dude, that is insane. He says, awesome. OMG, C Mustard is going to get Boom Show demonetized with his mouth and his great conversation. I'm seeing more ROG in the wild at the Chicago airport. Xbox is everywhere because he works at the airport in Chicago. He sent me actually a thing. He's seeing more ROG allies make the flights every day than he's ever seen before. That machine is dope. If you listen, I get it. It's a lot of money. But if you have the ducats and you can pay it off rather than just dropping $1,000, go get yourself a ROG Ally X, man, because C has it. I have it. A lot of people have it. It's dope. I'm sorry. I haven't had
daily driver. It's my daily driver.
And there you go. I mean, look, I was playing Final Fantasy VII Remake on the console, and when we started watching our Korean dramas, what I went to the ROG Ally, I downloaded it, I'm playing it on my freaking handheld. Holy shit, this is a reality, folks. Yeah, I'm good. Thanks. Big Mad Mo, salute to you, kind sir, even though he hates Chief. He's been a channel member for 45 months. Dude, that is incredible. Awesome, a big thank you to everyone that's continued to support the channel. He says, shout out to the panel, C Spittin' Fire. I'd like some olives with that, sir. Keep on keeping it 100. Hashtag Chief needs to retire. Oh my God.
Never.
All right, so listen.
How can I agree with you and disagree with you at the same time?
It's crazy. Yeah, he gets you with the olives and then gets you with the Chief. Man, I mean, so there you go. Horrible. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, look, this was a fun show. This was a fire show. One of my favorites in a real long time because, listen, you don't have to like Xbox, and that's fine if you don't, but you cannot deny what they're doing. Yes, some of their numbers are not where they want it to be, but they're not poor. And if you care about the numbers more than you care about gaming, that's a you problem. I don't. Listen, I report the numbers because it's a conversation that we have to have because it's a relevant conversation. But I am a consumer first. I'm winning. Right. I just hit another 3 month. I had a year and 3 months in the drawer. I used 3 months. I got a year left. You know when I'm paid up for, C Money? January 6th, 29. I'm good, ladies and gentlemen. I'm good. And I just keep every time there's a 3 months block that goes away, I add one. I go and find it for a cheaper price. And you can find, if you go out hunting, and I'm not talking about from Johnny's two-tone around the corner site. I'm talking about you go to legit sites, you can get it. And if $90 is what the full boat is, and you don't want to pay that, you can find places like CD Keys and more specifically who we've partnered with, ENEBA, and go to eneba.com, use the link, and you can get it. The last time I checked, it was $52, which is almost half off. You cannot go wrong with that. And again, I'm not trying to make money for Microsoft because I'm a consumer just like you. But if you consider the 5 games that I just said, and each one of those games is going to have a deluxe edition, and you buy those deluxe edition, that's $500 that you would have to spend on those 5 games if you buy the $100 edition of these games. And some of the games are even more now, right? And you're paying $52 for a 3-month card, or even at full boat, $360 a year at full boat. 5 games, $500+ plus everything. I think you're still winning. That's just me. But don't pay full price. Go and find the cheaper ones. But see, money, let's sell the brand. Let's talk about what you're going to be doing with, of course, Space Marine 2, because you have a new segment that you and the missus are doing for the channel. I think it's brilliant. I give you a lot of credit. I cannot do that. I just don't have the skills. I have to be like invested, which is why I like playing with randos, because I could be dead set into my and I can get 53 kills in a Call of Duty match because I got nice skills like that. I'm sorry, I have to toot my own horn, so I'm a toot. But sell the brand, brother. Where can people subscribe to, of course, On Point for Gamers, and follow you guys on social media?
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, first of all, Boom, I want to thank you again. Obviously, I love doing the show. So obviously, to see us here on Thursdays, 12 p.m. Eastern on Xblog Live. So shout out to you, man. I did put our link in the chat for On Point for Gamers. Yeah, we have some good stuff, man, going on. We have on Thursday nights, is tonight. We, like Boom said, is we doing it live. Yep. Where we used to only do like the talk shows, the podcasts like that, but I really wanted to kind of get gaming more involved in the channel.
And you get to play more games, which is awesome.
I do get to play more games, which is fire. And every time we do the show, the last game that we play is a community game. It's a multiplayer game. So, anybody, gets to kind of come on and we all just play and have a good time. So, tonight we have some good games. We're going to play Space Marine 2 for sure. We have some other ones that I'm going to get in that like dropped on Game Pass, and some other stuff that I'm kind of follow up with. And then I think the multiplayer game we're going to play tonight, I haven't got around to playing it yet. And I said, F it. It just dropped. People are talking about it. Let's see what it is. We're going to do High Guard. So we'll see.
Let me know what you think, because that was a game that Geoff Keighley was. No, I have not. Listen, brother, I barely have time to play games as it is, but yeah, it's look, it looks interesting. It's a hero shooter. That's just not my bag. I know that it started out pretty well, and it has fallen off a cliff, unfortunately. I know this is something that Geoff Keighley was really kind of pushing, and he did this whole big tweet about, I'm going to be owed an apology, and there was a whole thing with that and whatever. But yeah, let me know what you think of High Guard. It looks kind of dope. I'm not going to lie, but I'm just not a hero shooter guy.
I mean, I gotta be honest with you. I had it. I downloaded it once it kind of came out, and I just had no urge or desire to play it. So I figure if we do it on the show, it kind of forces me to just play it, and we're either gonna have a good time or be like, what the F is this? F this, let's go play Arc Raiders. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We won't know until it happens. But yeah, so we're definitely gonna play. We normally play like 4 games. Normally 4 games a night, 3 normal games, and then the multiplayer game. So we'll do that tonight. Tomorrow night we'll be back with Night Shift Let's Talk Gaming. You got Hargeet, Chani, and Demo Flow Gaming in the building with us. And we go in. We have a great time.
Demo Flow has been on a tear. That dude has been on the socials doing his thing, man.
Oh yeah. He's not messing around. He's having a good time, living it up for sure. So yeah, we'll be there tomorrow. And then Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. as well is Night Quest. And that's what our boy Farrell Bizarre. And we have a good time. Actually, Broke Boy's been on the show a lot lately. One of our community members he's all over the place. He's the man. But yeah, he's been on the show quite a few times actually on Tuesday nights. So he was there this past Tuesday as well. So yeah, we just rock out, man. Listen, we're an Xbox focused channel, but we play anywhere that there's good games. We really just like to slap up the ponies and their bullshit talk that they come out with, and their narratives that they try to defend by going ahead and writing a 48-page essay on Twitter.
Only 48 pages. They're not a real fan. You're not a real fan until after 50.
Nah.
So
yeah, exactly. We just have a good time, man. We just have a good time. We're doing big things, man. We're for the channel, I don't know if you know, Boom, but it was very, very cool. We got invited to GDC for the
wow, dude, awesome, man.
Ever. I didn't put in it for it. Like, I didn't ask, I didn't do any of that stuff. It just kind of happened. It was like, oh shit, that's dope. Now, can we go? That's a different question, because we got, that's in Cali.
Yeah.
It's during the week, a whole week.
That's a big honor, dude. That's
it's huge honor. Like, I'm very, very grateful for it. And we're kind of doing like a road to GDC thing. See if we can muster it up and see if we can make it make sense. There's also a lot of things going on in the world right now that make some of this stuff a little iffy right this second. So with what's happening out there and what people are doing. So there's a lot of thoughts to go into it, but at the very least,
lots of stuff that we don't really talk about. I know you don't talk about it on live on the air, but behind the scenes, there is a lot of wild stuff.
There's still real life. The game, it's all fun and games, but there's also real life. So we will see what comes from it. Why is that there? Why? Betrayal. It's always for the people you're closest to. You see that?
Oh my! How did I get in there? I must have clicked the wrong button. Sorry about that.
God damn it, Boom. Follow us at All Point for no mustard and no olives, unless they pay for it and make me do it like they did the other day. Did you see that I had to eat the goddamn mustard sandwich?
I did not.
Hold on, but this is the crazy thing, because we don't eat mustard here. I mean, at least I try to block it, but they brought they brought it down. Anytime they abuse me, I bring it down, right? So I have it here. I have my olives still there when they abuse me to make me do it. And Doodle set this up and brought down an English muffin toasted with this and made me squirt it on. And then I looked, and this is how crazy it is. Nobody uses it. It was from September. This is September. It's expired from last year, September.
Wow.
So not only do I not like mustard when it's the healthiest, but they made me have expired mustard, the worst. Oh my God, it was horrible, heartbreaking. So yes,
devastating, brother.
Anti-mustard.
That's it. Well, listen, folks. No, don't worry. I'm not gonna FedEx you a mustard. You can have it live on the air. I won't do that or anything, but. That's going to do it for us here, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you had as much fun as me and C Money did. If you did, hit the like button, share this on the social, let people know about Double Barrel Gaming. And of course, tomorrow morning, I'll be back at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with the new episode of Breakfast with Boom. I just put a new Fable video up, so go check that out. And I'm going to be doing a couple of shorts. I just got my Fallout Elite controller yesterday. I'm going to do an unboxing. It looks dope. It looks so freaking good. Oh my God. I'm so glad I got it. I think it's my 7th Elite. I think I have 7 of them.
That's fine.
I buy too many controllers, but listen, it's my only vice, man. So it's what I do. But yeah, I'm going to be doing an unboxing for that. Do throw it up as a short, as well as a few others. So definitely tune in for that. And of course, a big thank you to all of the super chats, channel member chats, and of course the subs that are not only gifted, but the people that have been channel members for so long. Mrs. Boom and I do greatly appreciate it. And of course, I'm going to close out the show with something that's incredibly important to me, folks. Hopefully one day will be important to you. And that's something that my dad taught us when we were kids. And he would say, Craig, treat others how you want to be treated. And also, it doesn't cost anything to be nice. You live by those rules, son. I can guarantee you're going to have an awesome day. So take care, everyone. And we'll see you next week on the newest episode of X Vlog Live.